So I wanted to redo my metal strategy video because I felt like it was going on for a while and some of the points were getting kind of watered down. The first thing that I would do is spot value. Make sure you're getting as close to that as possible. Single digits over spot, single digit percentages over spot. So if it's $100 in spot and it's $109, and obviously you're paying $9 over spot. 9%, yeah, and that's 9. That would be 9%. So figure the percentage. Single digits are kind of okay. Once you get into double digits, start being really careful because you don't want to start getting into a habit of buying the metals too high over spot and then having, a metal that's going to take forever to get your money back or your investment back if that's what you're getting it for. So keeping as close to spot as possible. And secondly, you need to watch the charts. You need to check the historical charts. Go back 6 months and go back a year, go back 5 years, go back 10 years, go back 30 years, and look at, for just that part of your research, drop out the spikes and the dips and see so go back to say like 1990 and then draw a straight line up to where the silver price has been overall, minus the spikes up and the spikes down. And right now you would look at silver and you say, okay, well, it looks like the price is probably about $23 or $24, in that ballpark range. And so when you go to look at a spot price, somebody says, oh, well, this is spot plus $1, spot plus $2, but the spot price is currently $50. You need to go back and look and see, okay, is that the average price where it should be? Because what is likely happened is this demand has shot up, or supply has shot down, or both, and they're just charging astronomical prices for it. You go back to the 80s, you see the Hunt brothers dried up the market and then tried to get a bunch of profit off of it. So it's real critical if you're new to this that you look at those spot prices so that you know what the average price should be right now. Right now, $23-ish for silver, $23.50, $22, somewhere between $22 and $24 is where it seems to be bouncing around at. If it were to go down to $18, I would call that a dip, and that's where personally I would buy. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if I saw silver hit $18 at this point in time, I would go buy a couple 10-ounce bars or something, The other thing, I should say the next thing is the way I do this, and I don't expect everybody to do this, is I don't stick to just gold or just gold and silver or just silver. I branch out. And so I've got gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. Now, I only recently started buying gold again. What you're seeing there is some of the stuff I've just bought. Decided to do a background with some of it. Those are the European, the old 20 franc gold pieces. They've got 0.1867 ounces of silver, so just under a fifth of an ounce of silver. So 5 of those makes almost an ounce of silver, just under. I'm sorry, an ounce of gold. Brain's not working here, and so I personally buy gold, have gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and if rhodium ever comes back down, I'll buy more of that. I sold when it spiked up. And so what I'll do is I'll take my fiat and go, like, say, buy this gold right here. And then I'll take more fiat and go buy silver. And I'll take more fiat and buy, like, my platinum. When you see that the price is down, then that's when you would say go buy. That would be the best time to buy. Now you can keep buying over the months as long as you're not buying on spikes up. And let me say that again: do not buy when the metal spikes up. One more time: do not buy when this metal spikes up. If you see a sharp spike up, don't buy it, because you are just begging for that price to drop back down, and then be in here on YouTube whining about how the metal sucks and we're all stupid for buying it, and we don't know what we're doing, and we should have bought Bitcoin and blah blah blah. If you buy it when it spikes up, when you see that nose just practically straight up, and you go buy it then, and you get taken, that's on you. I'm warning you now. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy sitting in my living room right now. I don't make any money off anybody doing this. I'm telling you, after 39 years of doing this, if you buy when that metal spikes up, because you weren't paying attention or you weren't educated. It is 100% on you when you get screwed over. Nobody else, not even the guy who conned you. You should have been protecting your money, your investment. So what I do is I buy all the metals for fiat. I very rarely will take a metal in and just trade it out for another metal. As far as say, oh, that gold-silver ratio, that I don't really do that. And what I mean, what I do trade metal for metal, but it's not as often as somebody might think. So here's what I do: I buy rhodium when I see it at a low price, and then rhodium might spike up. If it spikes up, I'm going to go in and trade right then. Right, I'm going to go in there. Now I could just get my fiat back out of it, but that's not what I do. What I do is I'll take that value and where it spiked up, and I'll trade that off for like silver if silver hasn't gone up, and that way I get a lot more silver for my initial a lot more silver value for my initial investment in the rhodium. Same thing with these other metals. Like I'm setting on platinum right now. If platinum, I bought platinum low. I've been buying it low. Every time I see it spike down, I buy more. And if it goes up to 2,000 or 1,800 again, I'm gonna run right over to there. I'm gonna run over there and have them swap me out from silver as long as silver has not gone up. And then I'll wait for platinum to come back down, and then I'll buy it. Take some more fiat and go buy it. So in this method, I'm buying all four metals, and then I'm using the metal that spikes up to trade off for the metal that has not spiked up. That's pretty much it. So there may be actually a case where I buy, let's just say I buy this gold here, and then it just shoots through the moon, and it looks like it's not going to stay there. Well, I'm going to real quick take it over and try to see if I can trade it off for some platinum that is actually below where it's traditionally been as far as the value, the current average value. And then you also start learning to get more of a feel for where the price should be. After you've been in this for a long time, you start getting a sensation. It's like your spidey sense is tingling where, okay, that's too much money for that. That's a little bit too much. Gold right now, it's borderline too much for me. Because all you have to do is have a bunch of these countries dump the gold, their gold onto the market, a bunch of these banks or countries, whoever they've been hoarding it, and that price is going to plummet back down. I would guess back down to $1,000 or $1,200 an ounce. They could do that overnight, very quickly, and that's why this one makes me a little twitchy. I bought these, but I'm not counting on anything really remarkable happening with them. So my basic plan is to watch a spot price, make sure that I'm not getting ripped off on the spot price. That's the first and foremost thing. Do not buy when the spot price is high. You buy it when it's just about average or when it spikes down. That you take your fiat in, you go buy some, and you stick it back in a box and forget about it. And then you watch the spot prices to see what they're doing. If you're just going to buy gold and silver, then you're really limiting yourself because that's all you're going to have to play off each other. If you're going to try to do it my way, that gold-silver ratio that everybody talks about. So what I would say is I use the gold, silver, platinum, palladium ratio. That's the ratio I'm looking for. And then I might throw some rhodium in there if the price ever comes back down to somewhere where I'm willing to pay for it. So instead of the gold, silver ratio, I'm using gold, silver, platinum, palladium ratio, and just watching those to see which one drops down and what the ratios are between them. And if it gets down good enough, if it's to my advantage, I'll go trade it off and get the metal that get the other metal. Now at some point or another, the metal that I traded for may get traded for another metal. I've never had that happen yet. And all these years, I've never had metal that I've went and bought and then thought, oh, okay, I'm going to go trade that metal for some other metal, because it never seems to work out to my advantage, or it's not enough of an increase, to really make a difference. If I'm only going to make 10%, I'm not packing my metal up for that. You know what I mean? It might be to your advantage to do it. I just don't see the need for it personally. So, basically watching the spot price, making sure you're not getting ripped off on spot, then making sure you're not getting ripped off on the premium, and then buying the metals with your fiat, and then just watching the metals to play them off each other. That's what I do. That's how I've been doing it, and I think this is a reason why I can actually call these an investment, because I'm not just sitting on gold. If you're just sitting on gold, I can see why some people might have a little bit of a problem calling metals investments, because I just did a video about these metals, are they investments, or what are they exactly? And I guess if I just had gold and that's all I had, or if I just had silver, then maybe I might be a little less inclined to call it investment, even though it still fits the definition of the term, because it is a commodity and the prices do fluctuate. But because of the way I do it, where I'm playing these metals off each other to try to come out more ahead, even more ahead of my initial investment, my initial fiat going into it, I think that's why it feels more like I'm playing the stock market or something, when you're playing 4 metals and even a 5th metal off each other, as opposed to just buying one and just holding it until hell freezes over, or whatever it is we're waiting on, retirement, death, handing it down to grandkids, whatever your personal objective is here. I think that if people would just branch out a little bit, and this is part of my strategy, I branch out. I don't just stick with gold or just silver. I buy at least all 4 of the main metals. I think that if they would branch out a little bit, you would find more interest in it. And then I also think that you'll real quickly start seeing that, oh, wow, I can actually come out more ahead than if I just bought silver. It's real hard to come out ahead when you're just buying silver, because you don't want to sell your silver, right? So the silver price spikes up, or what are you doing? Are you going to change it out for fiat? So let's just say silver doubles today. It goes to $50. Are you going to go sell it all and be without any silver? What if it goes up to 50 and it never comes back down? Now you just screwed yourself, right? So real silver stackers are probably very twitchy about the idea of, oh, silver went to 50, I'm going to go sell all my silver. Because there's a temptation there, I'm sure, but the fact of the matter is you don't know what it's going to do. It may never come back down from that, because the dollar might have just been destroyed, and you're just looking at fiat value. That's not always the best way to do it. And so I'm not going to go dump my silver if the price jumps. Now, what I might do is take a portion of it and go trade it off for gold or platinum or palladium or whatever's to my advantage. But what you're not going to see me doing is taking all my silver and dumping it just because it's $50 in fiat, because I would be too afraid that, the price is not going to come back down. You just have to use your head. For people that are trying to get in stacking and trying to get into gold and metals, don't be afraid of the metal. If you think that there is a chance that you don't want to take too many chances, you don't want to, you feel like you don't want to take too much of a risk, just go buy a couple ounces. Hell, if you've got enough money laying around, just go buy a tube of Silver Eagles or something. You know what I mean? Just go find something that's got a good deal on it. Look at the spot price. Look what it should be. If you're paying $4 or $5 over spot for a Silver Eagle, that's not too bad. I mean, you can get away with that. Sometimes you can get them for $3, $3.50, $4. If you can get that's even better. But just go buy either an ounce or two of a round if you don't have much money. If you're if you've got a lot of money and you ain't going to miss $500 or $600, if that's not going to make or break your budget, hell, go buy a tube of Silver Eagles or even a round of silver rounds. Just whatever, and just set on them for a while. Set on them, watch the spot price, and just get a feel for it. That way you're not in it arm and leg here. You're not buried to your neck in debt and putting yourself at financial risk. Get whatever you can. I would say get whatever you can get comfortably. Just whatever you can spend comfortably and without digging into your savings accounts, without digging into your checking. Just buy that amount, just a little bit, and start from there. And then give it a few weeks or even a few months just to kind of let it, set there in your mind. And then after that, maybe go look and try to invest a little bit in a little more broad sense. Anyways, I'm out of time. Y'all have a great day.